I'm Alex Pault, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Talking Timepieces, where we talk about watch collecting and horology. Today, I wanted to talk about the Agelocer, or whatever you want to call it, interesting name, the Agelocer Chinese Tourbillon. It is a true tourbillon. It looks really good. It is a skeletonized movement, and it's an example of what you can do when you're not trying to copy things. There are some other Chinese watch companies that are making waves with original designs, like Siga Design, who actually won the Geneva Horological Society Award, I believe it was in 2022 or 2023, but just a couple of years ago, in the challenge category. As far as I know, the only Chinese company to ever win a Geneva Horological Society Award. So these watches are not just fancy little glitzy pieces of kit, the kind of junk you would see in a department store Chinese watch kind of thing. This Agelocer really represents a new generation of Chinese watches, pieces that are actually worth looking into and owning. I wore this with a suit in public at a trade show, and everybody who saw it thought it was a really sharp-looking piece, and they all were surprised at how inexpensive it is. I paid around $800 for this on Amazon. It lists for a little over $1,000 on their website, but you poke around, you can find it at a good price. And it really is a nice piece. Let's turn the camera around and take a close-up look at it. Here is the box for the Agelocer, I'll just say Agelocer. So here's the Agelocer Tourbillon in the box. It has a nice outer box. I've already opened it, but I figured I'd show you. It actually doesn't have a bad kit with it. Has a little instruction manual. Talks about the watch, although this one looks like more of a generic one because it's got different watch shapes in it, and it's also describing regular models. So this must be their standard booklet that goes into all of their watch boxes. And then they give you a really fancy schmancy looking warranty certificate and a little promotional flyer that talks about it. And some of the questions on the back are funny. How to wind the automatic mechanical watch, why watch calendar changes at noon. So it's actually almost like a little troubleshooting list for people who may not know a lot about watches. And the inner box is actually not bad at all. It has a decent look to it. Reminds me of some of the cases I've seen with Nomos and some of the other companies that go with a slim case instead of the square case. And the watch, like I said, I opened it already, and it's a pain to reapply the strap. I'll show you why in a second, but it actually is a very nice strap. And it comes with a little cloth and another little card. Not a bad little presentation. So here we have the Agelocer Chinese Tourbillon. Let's zoom in on it. And it actually is a very good looking piece, especially considering the price that you're paying for it. I got this for about $800 on Amazon, and I'm very pleased with what I got. It's a striking design, very angular and clean skeleton. The tourbillon is really cool looking, and in general, it just is a nice, well-made, good-looking piece. You don't see burrs or stuff that you would often find on a poorly made watch, regardless of location. And this watch is really showing that Chinese pieces can punch at least at their weight. I believe this punches above its weight. This really is a good looking watch, and it really does show what you can do with a watch design if you just have a little fun with it, if you open your imagination a bit. This is a really nice design, and no one else has done something like this. So this is an original design from Agelocer, showing that Chinese can be inventive and creative and make a decently finished watch at a reasonable price. And considering that the cheapest Swiss tourbillon you can get your hands on is about $15,000 from Tag, this is actually a very good buy. You can see through it, it's typical skeleton. And it has an interesting feature. It comes with a charger, not a charger, a winder. It comes with a little stick winder that you would then, let's see if we can, here, let me zoom back into the rear and let you see that. And you attach it. It's got a little, it's a plastic cup, and there is a little bit of a clutch in it, so it's not going to over torque. And then you just hold it. Winding, winding, winding. And it is 2 barrels, so I can understand why they gave you a little winding device. But it's not a bad little piece. It reminds me a lot of a wireless screwdriver, a cordless screwdriver. But it's probably, so, I mean, that's almost certainly what the mechanism is, and they just put their own custom tip on it. But it is also branded, so they really make it a nice presentation, a nice package. I'm pleasantly surprised that this watch is as nice as it is. On the Timegrapher, it's running surprisingly well. The amplitude is a little low, but that's probably because of the drag of the tourbillon itself. But it's running with a good beat error, and the rate is fantastic. It's not a certified piece, but it's running within COSC. I'm pleasantly surprised, as I said earlier, about it. Surprisingly well-made piece for the price. So when you think about buying something, and especially when we hear people, complaining about Swiss watches and, oh, let me buy a fake, then buy something original, buy something creative, something with its own identity, something that really just, makes people think, wow, what a cool watch. I wore this watch to a trade show just a few weeks ago, and everyone thought it was a beautiful piece, and no one could guess the price. And everyone was surprised that it was as low priced as it is. Because, these are all people who are wearing their own fancy things. And everyone liked this watch. The strap is very interesting. So saying it's a continuous, no holes, so infinite adjustment. It's a double fold system with a single deployant clasp. It's similar to the Cartier Santos, which is a double clasp, but it's also the same kind of infinite double strap fold that the Agelocer has. See, so you can really adjust it nicely, and the clasp does not look bad. The watch really does look good. As I said, I wore it, and everyone who saw it thought it was a nice looking piece. And yeah, just worth the money. So let's turn the camera around and close out the episode. So that was the Agelocer Chinese Tourbillon, a really worthwhile piece to look at. And I would even recommend it for your collection, because you're not going to find a watch of this caliber at this price from anybody outside of China. And of the Chinese tourbillons, this is arguably one of the best. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell your friends.